Hello students, myself, Assistant Professor Namrata Khilochia, Profile BBA College, Vapi. In TY BBA, with respect to the subject Advanced Human Resource Management, we are moving with discussing of unit number 1, that is Introduction to HRD. In the same unit, let's today discuss different levels of HRD. Let's student first try to remember the definition of HRD given by T.V. Rao. According to T.V. Rao, HRD in the organizational context is a process by which the employee of an organization are helped in a continuous planned way to achieve three things. First, acquire or sharpen capabilities required to perform various functions associated with their present or expected future roles. Second, develop their general capabilities as individuals and discover and exploit their own inner potentials for their own or organizational development purposes. And third one, that is develop an organizational culture in which superior subordinate relationship, teamwork and collaboration among the subunits are strong and contribute to the professional well-being, motivation and pride of employees. So based on these three major characteristics which is given by T.V. Rao in his definition of HRD, let's today discuss major levels of HRD. Now, as T.V. Rao said that HRD is a process. So just like what happened in the production where there is throughput process, that means the process will start from input process and it ends with the output. This input-output model of production, HRD methods also transform all the inputs, that is what human beings or employees, into desired output. How do HRD methods achieve this? So, HRD methods achieve this via two major dimensions. First one, substantive or structural, and second one, that is procedural. First one, substantive dimension is regarding what is being done. And second one, procedural, is how it is to be done, which includes how people are relating to each other and what group dynamics are taking place. While structural dimension, that is the first one, has its grounding in the classical organizational theory, the procedural dimension reflects the human relation movement. So based on these two processes, that is structural and procedural, the HRD levels of process are divided into 6 types. The first one, that is at the personal level. So at the personal level, there is the existential process which is already there. This process tells us regarding how an individual perceives his environment, how he interacts with others, how he achieves his goals in life and so on. If this process is neglected, it may adversely affect the interaction or integration of the individual with the organization and his quality of work, career planning, promotion, performance appraisal and review, counseling, job enlargement, enrichment, reward also affected. And that's why at the personal level there is existential process which show how he is reacting towards the current one scenario. That's the name itself suggests, existential. Now second one, after personal level, let's raise the level. So at the second level, at the interpersonal level, we have the empathetic process. This process tells us how much empathy or understanding one individual has for the other person, and how does he reach out to the other person and establish a relationship with him, especially with the superior and subordinate. Confusion, conflict, cooperation, and competition are some of the important areas of study in this process, that means at the interpersonal level process. If this process is neglected, it may adversely affect the interpersonal effectiveness of individual in the organization. And to improve this interpersonal relationship, there are many processes available which are offered by HRD, that is training, job rotation, which is also called as transfer, communication, etc., to improve this interpersonal relationship. So after the relationship between two persons, let's move further with the next one level, that is third one. At the role level, we have the coping process. Every individual in the organization is required to cope with the various pressures and stresses in relation to his or her roles in the organization. However, if the individual's role is clear and the individual is aware of the competencies required for achievement of the roles, he can cope with this pressure and stress effectively. Role analysis goes a long way to improve this process. So one can improve the role and cope up with this role by the process of role analysis. So at the role level, we have the coping process, yani to cope up with the same problem by using which one process? Role analysis. Okay. Now let's move further with the fourth one level. After the role, the fourth one level, that is at the group level, we have the building process. So building means what? Group building. That is also called as teamwork, right? Team building. This process tells us regarding how various groups form themselves as different entities in an organization. How do they become more cohesive? Cohesive matlab interdependent, having trust on each other and sharing different information and work with each other. And strong, and how can they effectively contribute to the goals of the organization. So how people are working in a group, that comes under group level. Now to improve the group level activities and to become more cohesive groups and making better team building, here the process offered by the HRD, that is OD intervention. So organizational development intervention and team building programs and exercise improve this group level process. Now let's move forward with the fifth one level. After group, there is intergroup level. So at the intergroup level, we have the competitive and collaborative both process. Both can be either positive or negative in the organization. Competition is positive if it poses a challenge to a group in terms of standard of performance and achievement. It is negative if it perceives or prevents a group from achieving its goals. Similarly, collaboration is positive if it aims at helping others to achieve the common goals of the organization. But it is negative if it aims at escaping hard work that others are doing and stopping others to do the work. So this process can be very much improved by creating a very good organizational climate of trust, authenticity, openness, etc. and need to use clarifying norms and standards of the organization and its policies and programs. So here HRD offers different process of creating better culture and climate of trust in the organization to improve this intergroup level coordination. So intergroup means what? Between different groups, like between production group and marketing group, between finance group and purchase group, etc. And sixth level, that is at the organizational level, we have the growth process. So here it involves different issues relating to the organizational culture, change management, and organizational effectiveness. So again here HRD help here to improve the organizational culture by implementing certain programs and using training and OD intervention to implement the change in the organization for achieving organizational effectiveness. So these are what 6 major levels which create throughput process of HRD, which includes input to output process. Thank you, students.